Hey guys, and welcome to this tutorial for Steelray's Analyzer for P6. And so we're going to walk you through how to improve the quality of your schedules and using this tool, which is designed primarily for Primavera P6. So let's get started. This might be the screen that you see the first time you run it, but more often it's going to look like this. When you start it, it immediately is going to ask you what you want to analyze. And so you can pick multiple XER files if you've got multiple projects and each of them are in one XER file, or you can pick an XER file like this one that has multiple updates in it. And I'm going to do that and click open. And so you're in the new project dialog, and it is showing you what it found in that XER. And what we have here is a really large data set. There are a baseline and 29 or 30 updates to it. So I've got them all checked, but if there were any that you didn't want, you could uncheck them. Pay close attention to the data date here. And I'm going to click OK. And immediately what it's going to do is it's looking through all of those XER files, making sure everything's okay, and it does the analysis and displays it. So that was 30 updates of a schedule with over 1,000 activities. So it's pretty quick. Okay. This is the scorecard view. It's really simple, and I'll walk you through the different pieces of it. First, green, yellow, or red indicators. How do we do on these checks? Then you've got the name of the check. If there is a score, like a percentage, it'll display it here. And then you're seeing this spark line. And what the spark line is doing is it's showing you all the different scores across these updates. And how do we know what update we're looking at? This dot right here shows you, but also you see it up here. And so as I hover over each snapshot, I'm getting a score. Jumping back to this column, what you're seeing is the score represented by the dot. And in this case, it's the last update, the most recent update. Okay, what if you wanted to change the update that you were looking at? Well, that's what this is for. And so if I wanted to look at New Year's Day 2013, I changed the day to date. And now you can see, and the dots have moved because it's toward the middle of this project, or at least the middle of this set of projects. And the category field is telling you whether it is from the DCMA 14-point assessment, the DCMA DECM checks, which are the next generation, or some of them that have just traditionally come from our project analyzer that aren't in the DCMA checks. And so right now you're seeing from all three groups. If you wanted to, for instance, just look at the Steelray checks, you just uncheck the other boxes. So it's really pretty simple to use here. Okay. Next category, next column, is the threshold. And that really is showing you what the green, yellow, red thresholds are. And so, for instance, duration less than 5 days, we have 63.95%. And I can see that it's red, and it's been red across every update. But how would I get it down to yellow or green? I just look over here. So anything above 35% is red, anything above 25% is yellow, under 25 is green. Okay, so let's say I want a little more information on something like missing, actually let's do no finish to start predecessors. Okay, so what I do is I just double click on that, and now I am on this detail screen. And I'm going to show you how to get back really quickly. You either hit return, or I'm going to jump back in. You can also hit the escape key, which is what I prefer. Okay, so we're going to go into no finish to start predecessors. We can see that we're in the green with only 1%, and so that's well within the 10% over here. I can also see it's been green through the whole history. This panel here is the coach. The coach is our built-in encyclopedia of scheduling and schedule quality. And so really it's a good resource whether you know what you're doing with schedule quality or whether it's new to you. Each coach page has, first of all, what is the check? And if you don't understand a term, let's say you're really a beginner and you don't know what predecessors are, you click on that and it'll give you a definition. I'll click close and we'll move on. Down here we have a list of activities that met the criteria here for flagging. So these are activities that have predecessors that are not finished to start. In other words, they're finished to finish, start to start, or start to finish. And again, if it's under 10%, we're gonna make that green. And the list of activities is down here. And you can even see sometimes when an activity has more than one predecessor, you can click on that link and see what they are. So that's pretty straightforward. The other thing is, well, what if you don't like hour thresholds? What if you don't like 10% and 20 and you wanted to make it, let's say, 5 and 10? I just click at it and change this to 5 and this to 10. And I can click OK. And it's going to do the recalculation for you. Okay, and again, we're still green, but you can see that we've changed it to the new values that I wanted. And of course, if you want to change it back, we've got a reset button. So now it's going to go back to 10 and 20. So the whole purpose of this is to be really simple to use. I don't think it even really needs a manual. Most of the things you can kind of figure out. This is where you would go to enter a new license key if you have one. Maybe your existing one expired. If you want to see what version you're running, you just go to the help about. There is a user guide. I'm not going to load that. And two other things that I really haven't shown are exporting to Excel. So let's go ahead and do that. I want to include the detail tabs. And so what it's doing is it's creating this report, but in Excel. And here we go. I'll maximize that. So here's our scorecard with the score, all the columns, the spark lines. You can't hover over them though, and it's only giving you that one point in time, of course. And then if I wanted to click on, let's say, missing successors, I click on that, and what it's going to do is it takes me to this tab where I've got the details. This is where the activities would be listed. The other cool thing is if I didn't want to scroll back here, I could just jump back to that first screen with that link. So that's the Excel export. The other thing I'm going to do is copy to the clipboard. Okay, now why would you want to do that? Well, now for instance, I can go into Microsoft Word, really any document that you can paste in that would accept an image. And when I paste, there we go. So you can create your own reports using our scorecard. The integration is really nice just by using the clipboard. Okay, there are other ways to add files. So I've created this project. I've added these files. Here's where you could delete the project, or if you wanted to delete one of the updates, which we call snapshot, you would do it there. Oh, one other feature is some of the DCMA checks want to know where the baseline is. And we know that sometimes you will re-baseline during the project. So if you wanted to say that this May 1st was a new baseline for DCMA purposes, you would check that box and click OK. So that's pretty easy to do. And then, of course, it's going to do its recalculation and give you those checks. Okay, I think that is a good run through of the features. If you have questions, you can email EA for early access at steelray.com. Thanks very much.